Sunshine's Corner, being brought to you by Quint and Richie Studer. And a beautiful Friday morning it is. Welcome into the hottest spot in town. This is Sunshine's Corner. I want to welcome you in today because I tell you this every day, we tackle the topics that's difficult to talk about. But here we can talk about it because I strongly believe the only way that we can come up with a better solution is to talk about it and more than one person idea so that we can get other perspectives. And I believe that way we can come up with a better solution. I have two guests today and I'm pretty sure there's no doubt about it. Everybody's been keeping up with social media. Everything that's happening around the world is about the shooting that took place. But let me say this about Charlie Kirk. I want to say this to all of our viewers today. I do not condone killing anybody. I do not condone anybody taking anybody's life. I also do not condone when people purposely hurt somebody else. We're going to talk about things that are totally, I think, let me go back and say this. My mind is going like this. I was talking with a person earlier. You can't understand, from my point of view, I'm a black woman. You're a black man. You cannot understand for the harsh things that were said in reference to black people, black women especially. Mm-hmm. I want people to understand this, and this is another thing that I see, and I'll say this again, I do not condone anybody taking anybody's life. No, that's his job. But what I do not like is that for our spiritual community to say it's okay, oh, everything is sad now. And I was reading even this morning as I was preparing to come in. This man now has left 2 children behind. George Floyd had 3. Mm-hmm. I say that because there's only one God, whether you believe it or not. Mm-hmm. You're going to be judged by the same God as I. Mm-hmm. He's not going to look at you if your pigmentation is lighter than mine, or if your hair may not be as curly as mine. Mm-hmm. But the fact of it is, we've got to come to a conclusion that we've got to stop this. I have my own personal opinion, because for anybody, I feel like with me in the world today, and it's coming from such a higher up level, what is it that you're so fearful of from the black community that you target the black community? Oh, we know we're smart. Black women are the most educated there is in the country. Mm-hmm. The most educated in the country. Mm-hmm. I feel like this. I said I wasn't going to keep it long, but I got to say this. I was listening to Bill Cosby last night from an old interview that he had, and he was being interviewed. And you see, because what people talk about is what's focused on. Mm-hmm. If you continue to say, well, the black community is killing this, the black community killing this, the black community not doing this, they don't have any education here, what do you think the media and the community is going to focus on? But you're saying to me, hear what I'm saying, the black man did this, the black man did this, but when you check out any statistics, we're not at the top.
No.
Why? Because it's a picture that's painted. Because if you harp on, that's called good branding. Mm-hmm. But when over in the white neighborhood, they don't say a white boy did it or a white man, a life was taken. Mm-hmm. Or this person, it was taken. Because therefore, the branding ain't there. But if you keep saying, then you're going to paint this picture that we're this
criminal
element that we're not. Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong, because I say this often. There was a law enforcement officer told me once, and he said to me, we focus on the black community to bring that out. They do that. Mm-hmm. That was said to me from a law enforcement officer to my face. Mm-hmm. But with the things that are happening now, which is painful, for all the stuff that's coming out, I hate the fact that it was on a college campus. I don't understand that. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are this. First of all, I want to say to the Kirk family, my prayers and condolences are with you. You know, here's what hurt me the most about this. You have a young man that listened to a lot of rhetoric that was said, not only by the president, but I seen clips because I wanted to research Charlie Kirk. And there was a guy named Benny Johnson also. He's full of hate. But when the president do an interview and said that black men are born to commit crime and hate, that is stupid. And I'm waiting on the Republican base, and I got friends that are Republicans, to have enough courage to stand up to the president of these United States and say, your rhetoric is unacceptable because you are the one spurring the hate all over America.
Yes, he is.
Putin played him like a fiddle. He
Checkmate.
gave the red carpet to a communist dictator. But then he have the unintelligence to say he's going to stop the war within 24 hours if he's elected. Right before they were supposed to have this peace agreement, Putin bombed Ukraine.
And you wonder why, what, 2 + 2 = 10?
I mean, America itself, we the people, according to the Constitution, gonna have to have enough courage to tell Donald Trump no more lies, no more rhetoric, and until people have the courage to do so, as tragic as it is, here's a young man that lost his life, another young man is in custody as a person of interest, but America has lost its moral soul.
I agree. How do you feel about that, Jerry?
One of the things you have to me, this guy, Charlie Kirk, Stephen Miller, Steve Bannon, all of these people are behind Trump. These are intelligent people, but their intelligence is upside down. They will lie, cheat, steal, and do whatever need to be done to carry out their agenda. We, on my show, we talked about the Project 2025.
Yeah, I saw that.
On the Project 2025, all of the things that are taking place now,
It was there.
it's in that Project 2025. About 46% of it or 49% of it already been implemented. And you got 3 more years to implement the rest. And that's
3
the
years,
danger.
now that's what, 8 months? 9 months he been in there? I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's the danger of these people.
Right.
Then you go back and see what Charlie Kirk, the stuff that he has been spewing, the hatred that lead to violence
Exactly.
in this country. They have weaponized language in this country to the point where people are lynching people, truck drivers. People are being killed unnecessarily in certain areas. You're going back to sundown towns where you can't go through certain towns after a certain time, where people are being killed or with the potential of being killed. The violence that is taking place in this country, and they focus it, as you all, during the Nixon administration, this is how this became, how this started.
I got you.
Because he used the media, along with him, Ronald Reagan, and others, George Bush Sr., with Willie Horton ad. And you go back to Nixon when they talked about drugs and how they could use drugs and violence to throw it off on blacks and hippies at that time. So this has been going on way before then, but it just, it began to perpetuate itself in the media.
It has been, amplified.
Yeah.
It's so.
Yeah.
Is it because that some people?
Well,
If I see now, if I can do it at the top, the ones that been holding it in and hiding it, is it being just okay? He's giving me permission to let this out,
Exactly.
so I can go ahead. My question is also, there was a speech he did, even after the other day when this happened. Not one time was it mentioned gun violence. I thought you would have talked about gun violence at least. None of that was mentioned, but it was really amplified. The same things that we're talking today. We've got another person that's going to take on with us in just a little bit, because I wanted to have a different age group so that we could talk about this, because Jonathan Green is going to be joining us to talk more about this in our next break. But I say that because when I got to be honest with you guys. I'm going to be honest with all of our viewers. At first I said I wasn't going to say anything yet. I had another guest for today. But the fact of it is, when I got to reading, my notifications was just kept going off on my computer, I guess going on and on. I said, no, it's time to talk. Then I'm not doing my job when I tell you that I want to talk about the things, and why am I not? So I got on the phone, I got to call, and everybody I know that I said, come on, will you come in? Can you come in? Can you come in so we can talk about it? And I want to say this too, this is not going to be the only conversation, because it's going to take more than an hour to cover what we need to cover. What we need to cover.
Let me say this, and pardon me for interrupting.
No, go right ahead.
For people to call the HBCUs, and some guy told me this morning, he don't know what that means. The historical black colleges in Atlanta with death threats on yesterday. The colleges was on lockdown.
Yeah, some of them had to shut down.
No one could come on campus, no one could leave campus. And this is the rhetoric when the president, the day of the shooting, the first thing he said, blame the Democrats.
Exactly.
He should look in the mirror, because he is the one
Let's start at this.
have the country divided.
Exactly.
Now people are going to get angry with me, but hey, I believe in civil rights. I believe that people have a right to live their life and pursue happiness without anybody trying to do them bodily harm because of the color of their skin. I have always stood up for civil rights and justice, and I will not dishonor the Reverend Dr. H.K. Matthews by being silent.
Exactly.
And these television ministers that's on, yes, I'm calling them out, the T.D. Jakes and the Creflo Dollars and the Joel Osteen. When are they going to say,
stop?
Christ gave us marching orders, love ye one another. I don't hear none of these television ministers speaking out against all this hate. They are silence onlookers.
And I think you want to say that. I'm not going to take away, and I also want to, sure, we all have free speech, but there's a limit to that free speech. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
If you're going to continue, because I hear a lot of people, well, he has the right to have free speech, but you don't have a right to try to tear me down because they're going to make you look better.
Exactly.
Free speech, free speech is one of the greatest things America has.
Exactly.
How you use that free speech can determine whether somebody live or die. Because the power of war comes from the tongue. What we say, how we say it, what we do with our words, and how we can twist words to make it make a war come about, because that's how it come about. In the black community, we are crushed with criminal tendencies from other people,
and
not us. And the most people being exonerated in this country right now are black people.
I know.
Because with the advent of DNA and the internet, all of that has helped to get thousands of people exonerated, people off of death row. Just last week, it was a guy, I think he did like 40 years in prison for a crime he did not commit. It's a show called Exonerated.
I've seen that.
Where people are being, they'll come on every day and talk about how every Wednesday, and talk about how they was incarcerated for crime that they did not commit. But people like Charlie Kirk and others have done irreparable damage for many years to come because they not only was influencing those who was already had those tendencies toward racism and violence, but they was using the college campus to even recruit even more.
Exactly.
And talking about this should be a white nation only. You know, all of the cruel things that people of color have been through in this country.
Exactly.
To overcome some of the crimes of inhumanity,
Right.
and which we was fighting for in this country. Our humanity has, you know, people like that was trying to totally diminish. And the like you said, the things that he said about black women, you know, to not be taken seriously.
Don't take that. That's right.
You know, as a matter of fact, this guy has said some of the most disparaging things about black people and people of color, and that led to other people getting killed.
Exactly.
He, you know, the what he has said about the Palestinians who are being slaughtered. You know,
I
just
agree.
the whole,
There's some of the things that I got them on the screen right now. Some of the things.
Yeah. So, and I'll just quote some of the things. One of the things he says that black women do not have the processing power to be taken seriously. You have to go steal a white person's slot.
Yeah, to get that. And,
You know,
Don't make me go. Don't make me jump out of this chair.
yeah, I mean, but like you said, the most educated people per capita in this country are being disparaged. You know, when the black women was helping other black women to get into jobs, it was this guy Bloom sued the women to stop them from getting. They were helping black women with $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 to get a business started.
Exactly.
To stop that.
From that, we got to go to break. Let's hold right there. 'Cause we got. I know David's back there. He's going to help me so we can get Jonathan on out here with us. So that I tell you, we're having a conversation today, and I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you. Please, 850-432-7768. That's the number. As we continue today on Sunshine's Corner.
Welcome to a new segment on health and wellness sponsored by Baptist Healthcare in partnership with Sunshine's Corner. Every first Wednesday of the month during Sunshine's telecast, we're going to be bringing you information about health and wellness and ways to make sure we're improving the quality of your health care here in Pensacola. After all, we want to ensure that you're going to the right place at the right time and for the right reason, and that you don't feel alone. Can't wait to see you.
I'm Emily Echeverria, Marketing Communications Director for Council on Aging of West Florida and the host of Coming of Age. Watch our show to find out what we're doing for our seniors and their families, and hear from area experts and local business owners about their programs and services. Want to help? Find out how you can work with us to bring a better future to our seniors. Watch Coming of Age, 3:30 p.m. Wednesdays, only on Blab TV.
At FPL, we plan for storm season all year long. We're strengthening poles to better withstand severe weather. We're clearing lines to improve resiliency, and we're constantly training teams to act at a moment's notice. Because we're always working, always preparing. So when storms do hit, you can count on us. FPL, working for you every single day.
For the past 5 years, Blab TV has worked with the McCullough Institute and Plastic Surgery Clinic here in Gulf Shores to get our message out to the public. Blab TV works. I am Dr. Galen McCullough, and I am Blab TV.
I don't hear you. Okay. And welcome back to the hottest. Did you see that shoulder? Okay. Welcome back to the hottest spot in town. I got to laugh at him at least. We have welcomed with us today Jonathan Green, and he is such an advocate in our community.
Yes.
And I wanted him on this conversation because you see the age difference. Now, he and I the same age. He's in
Late 20s.
Yeah, I'm in my late 20s, okay? So I want to have somebody who that could feel me. You get But no, we're having a conversation today that I think that needs to be had. I want to say this, and I was listening as the two of you were saying, and Jonathan, I want to pull you in on this as well. When you hear people, this is what bothers me so much. You can get in a conversation, you hear people defending this kind of stuff, right? How is it that you see what's happening?
Yep.
Oh, he said, yep. You see what's happening, but you still deny what's happening.
Yes.
What is that? Okay, now you're out there in the community a lot. You're a young man. I mean, just think about this, because they're saying there was a younger person, Jonathan, that did the shooting.
So, Charlie Kirk, he's 31 at his age of death. Myself being 38.
Is he?
I'm
You
30.
38?
I am. Black don't crack.
I'm only 31. Okay.
But him, his youthfulness, what we have to be understanding in all generations is our level of empathy to re-educate ignorance. That the entire, as a professional mediator, civil rights mediator at that, the heart of the reason conflict exists is because people don't communicate.
Right. I say that every day.
When I went to the New Jersey Division on Civil Rights with the Attorney General's office up there, and also one of the largest nonprofit law firms that I worked for out of the South, I always, on interviews, and I always say I'm willing to meet with Klan members, with white nationalists, because I have to engage dialogue with people who hate me. What is it for me to go preach to the choir with people who already think like me?
Okay.
If I
Good point.
If I cannot change the heart of one person to see my humanity, to see the humanity in my children, that we want to get all of our children to school safe. Let's start there. When you have a certain group of people who have been trained for generations that we are an inferior people, so when you bring up Palestine, there are people who believe they are subhumans. It's people who believe we are subhuman, so we do not have the same level of humanity. We have to retrain the thinking, and it takes those who, in polarized political spaces that we're in now, as much as many people may detest the fact that Donald Trump is the president of the United States of America, we are citizens of that country, of this country. He is our president, and he has a duty to uphold democracy for his citizens.
Right.
So we have a duty to uphold him to that standard. And in that, people who follow the rhetoric is very dangerous. I'm saying it's going to incite civil war. So, for instance, it wasn't just in Georgia where the HBCUs, my alma mater at my law school at Southern University,
Was locked down?
It was across the nation. They received
Death
threats of mass shooting, and it went out. So they shut campuses down across the nation.
My God.
It's dangerous. So in Idaho yesterday, a white person driving through who said F Charlie Kirk got beaten by Charlie Kirk supporters. He was white, they were white. And when it comes to crime statistics show, so it's always the skew, and Charlie Kirk always spoke skewed crime statistic numbers. So white people are about 70% majority in the United States. That white on white crime, crime period, the majority of crime happens by people you are around. The offender is rarely unknown. It's not random crime that occurs.
Right.
So white people perpetrate crime against white people more often. Black people perpetrate crime against black people, Asians against Asians, and so on and so forth, Hispanic, because of the proximity. But white people get plea deals and get charges dropped more, so you don't have to be exonerated. So yes, the black exoneration rate would be high when they were never convicted. Right?
Yeah.
So you have these elements that, how do we neutralize polarization? Because even in the them-us aspect, yes, there's advocacy for voting and when the election comes, but the 364 days of the year in between, the next year, like for the November times, all the time between elections, we have to be mindful of the Republican, Democratic, the conservative, liberal aspects. We have community now. Can you go to your neighbor to your left and to your right and across the street, not in church, at home, and help your neighbor?
Absolutely.
Most of us cannot because
Exactly.
you might not know your neighbor. Let's start community there and not hold it on the account of the politicians who aren't representing us.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, he had church this morning.
You know, I received a video 2 days ago. The police, whatever city it was in, showed up at this young black man's house. He comes out with his hands up, had a pair of shorts on.
He killed him?
They tased him, and he was saying, please, I'm not a threat to nobody. And then turned the police dog on him, and he said, I haven't done anything.
Yeah, he sit down.
Yeah,
As a
he
matter
sat
of
down.
fact.
He was no threat to nobody. So I'm saying this because I want people to understand. Just because a person put on a uniform doesn't mean they have the goodness in their heart to treat somebody in a humane way.
As I've said so often, the police have more power than the president because they have the power of life and death in their hand.
Wow, you got that
Yeah.
right.
They have the right to slaughter you, whether you did anything or not, and it has happened, and we saw that live on television many times. And even though you're right about what you're saying, the work to try to convince people or bring them over to see the humanity in all of us. But there are those who go directly on the police force to do what they do, to brutalize, to beat, to kill, and to destroy anything that look like us. Because the fear, I don't know where it comes from, because we do not have the gene to really go out and just slaughter people for no
That's
reason
what's so
because of the
amazing
color
to
of
me,
their
because
skin.
we don't do that.
Yeah, we don't do that. And why would anybody believe that we would do that except those who promote that? And it's promoted in the media more often than that we realize, because we don't think critically a lot of time about what people are saying and how they say it and who's listening to what they say.
Exactly.
I think the fear really comes from where the misinformation of propaganda, the media being able to, for instance, Donald Trump made a statement the other day where he spoke of a Ukrainian woman who was murdered on a train in Charlotte. But he holds up a picture, and the first picture, the face is blurred out, but you can see the person has locks, dreadlocks in his hair.
Oh, get that in. I haven't seen
The second thing he holds up is saying how bright of a future the Ukrainian woman has, and how these people holding up a picture of a black person with locks are vile monsters, and just the narration of that. So people who already follow his message, how do we convince them before they retaliate for the fear of what has occurred from a lone actor? We get stereotyped into this class of a group of people, and we have to use these moments to educate people. So in a way where, for instance, people who are in medical school are taught for the longest that black people have a higher pain tolerance level.
Oh, I found that. Yeah, I was just talking about that yesterday.
Our skin is
I was
thicker,
just talking about that yesterday.
And because of that, our pain symptoms aren't as worthy of pain medication.
Exactly.
How
Kennedy?
women give labor, and that's even going into maternity health and black women's health, and how the disparate treatment and racial medical racism. All of these aspects have a play in politics, but the rhetoric. So, for instance, Charlie Kirk, I appreciate his free speech. Many people detest his free speech because of how horrible it is, and it is horrible. It is vile. But free speech cannot be censored. The only thing the Constitution does not allow from free speech is speech that goes to incite a riot. But how do you distinguish that from what the president said on January 6th that allowed the Capitol to happen?
Exactly.
That incited something that he
exactly.
had no part in.
Exactly.
But a person who invokes passion out of people, that one actor may be able to go do something and that person may be charged with it. So you saw that with House Bill 1 when they tried to make the anti-riot laws a few years ago.
Hold that right there. We got to go to break. I mean, because I'm so with the but it's an educational point that we're having today. We're sharing things that even from a different age group of what we see, and it's really the same thing of what we got to do. We are having a conversation today that I would love the community to be a part of. This is one thing I want our community to stop doing, is being quiet. Stop being quiet. Free speech. Stop being quiet. We're going to talk more about that when we return right here on Sunshine's Corner.
You finally found the perfect car in racing blue. You even got them to throw in the LED fog lights for free. Auto Owners insures your car because some people never learn to parallel park. That's simple human sense.
Ask the Messick Insurance Agency in Pensacola if auto owners make sense for you.
Keep going, more. No, stop!
Many who consider facial plastic surgery are concerned their results will look unnatural. But with over 20 years of serving the Pensacola community, his thousands of satisfied patients have made Dr. Derek Jones a trusted reconstructive and facial plastic surgeon known for industry-leading results that look natural. Call 850-484-FACE to schedule a consultation at one of our locations in Pensacola and Gulf Breeze.
I'm Dr. Derek Jones. Trust your face to a facial plastic surgeon.
At Pensacola Habitat for Humanity, we believe every child should have a safe place to grow. That's why we work with you and the community to build not just a house, but a home.
She worked very hard to get this house. I really appreciate that because, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here right now.
When you help build a home, you build a future. Pensacola Habitat for Humanity.
The Emerald Coast Utilities Authority's state-of-the-art materials recycling facility processes recyclables for communities throughout the region, lowering need for more landfills. This highly efficient recycling service accepts glass, paper, cardboard, plastics, aluminum, and more. But we need your help. Please make sure your recyclables are clean of garbage, food, and liquids. Also, please remember that plastic shopping bags, foam products, or yard waste are not recyclable. To learn more, go to livegreenecua.com.
And welcome back to this Friday edition of Sunshine's Corner. We're talking about, and let me go back and say this. I do not agree with anybody taking anybody's life. We're talking about the repercussions of what he has said during all of his free speech, is what we're going from. I feel for his family. I understand the pain. But what we don't want people to overlook, look at the pain that we have suffered so long of the same arena, should I say? And when the thing that bothers me the most, there will be something that's engraved in my thought process, is when I heard George Floyd asking for his mama.
Oh,
that just makes me want to cry every time I hear that. And that's to call for your mama?
Your dead mama.
Your dead mama now, not the one that's what? Jesus Christ. Let's go to the phone. Get the phone for me, sweetheart. Good morning.
Good morning, Sonshine. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good. I wanted to read something to you right quick, and you and your guests, and I'm so happy that y'all had the opportunity to have this show on. This is a scripture, Psalms 141, 2-8. I was listening to my devotional yesterday morning, and at 6 o'clock when I got this part of my devotion, And in that scripture, it stated there, it says, set a guard over my mouth, Lord, watch over the doors of my lips. Do not let my heart be drawn to evil. And so I just wanted to bring that to my attention because that was like 6 o'clock in the morning, and then this situation happened later on that day.
So what you're saying is with the evil, I think what he's...
that I received that day.
Okay, so I think what you're saying is this, guard your mouth with the things that are being said from the top of the country to the bottom, and then be mindful of the evil that's going to come from what you're saying. So be mindful of what you let come out of this. But I think, and we appreciate that, and it bothers me so strongly. And if I could take out of me right now how many things that are going through my process and my brain to get it out, you all wouldn't get to say a word, because I would be talking for the whole hour. But it is so. I want to thank you for that, bringing up the scripture, because I'm a strong believer in my God, my Jesus Christ. And I know that if we don't keep him into this the real way as well, because there are people who are saying, I'm a Christian, but I got a gun at your chest.
Absolutely.
I'm a Christian, but I can't stand you because of your beautiful pigmentation. I can't stand you, but I'm going to tell you one thing. So those two, that's not the Bible I studied. That's not the way it goes.
And see, I think the aspect of guarding your heart, guarding your mouth, in that aspect of the scripture, that it goes into, Charlie Kirk spoke a lot of a lack of empathy toward people who didn't look like him, especially black and brown communities. So the lip and heart that he did not guard, he put that out there. So a lot of rhetoric you see on social media are people who also are lacking empathy and love for his situation. Whereas, but that's where evil can get more evil, because his lack of empathy now causes someone who would normally have empathy for someone in this situation to detest this person because of the free speech.
Exactly.
So we have to guard ourselves from becoming just as evil as him, from hating
Absolutely.
him.
Absolutely.
Let me quote what he said about empathy.
Okay, now,
excuse me, man. He said, I cannot stand the word empathy. I think empathy is a made-up New Age term and does a lot of damage.
This is from Charlie Kirk.
This is from Charlie Chris. So
not Charlie Chris, Charlie Kirk.
And just what he just said. If we don't have empathy, even for him, you know, being murdered, you know, because that's what it was.
I
know,
I
know they say
assassination. I heard that he got murdered.
Assassination is a cute word.
Right.
Murder is what happened to him.
Exactly.
You know, murder is what happened to Martin Luther King, to Malcolm X.
Exactly,
to
all of them.
All of the people that fought and struggled for us to be free in this country and to uphold the Constitution, which the president, that is his job, to make sure that the Constitution is upheld, rather than come out talking about the radical left is the one that caused this man to be slaughtered before the world. And when I was looking at the thing when it happened, and I saw the blood gush from his neck.
Oh my God!
And I'm like, and then when you think about the little children that he condoned. He said that, you know, keep the Second Amendment, sometime there have to be killings. So, I mean, you know, those.
And on the same day that Kirk was shot, there was a shooting at a school. President haven't talked about that.
Exactly.
3 weeks ago at a Catholic school, a guy shoot through a window and killed 2 children. There is a great urgency to address gun violence in America.
There was a shooting yesterday in Colorado.
There you go, shooting in Colorado yesterday.
Nothing.
So this is what I'm saying. I want to see people of goodwill, whoever they are, stand up to this president and say no more. No more hate. No more rhetoric of blaming the far left or people that don't agree with him. Just think about this. Everybody that haven't agreed with him have been fired.
Exactly.
Everybody.
Unbelievable. I mean, but it's so. What are we going to do?
We are going to keep marching forward, and I'm so glad young brother Jonathan is here today on the set, and Jerry, and thank you, Sonshine, for the invitation. See, because I said something on my Facebook page 2 weeks ago. I don't want anybody in Escambia County, the state of Florida, or this nation for 1 minute to think because of the death of Reverend Dr. H.K. Matthews, we are going to turn back on civil rights. We're going to march forward with more energy in honor to him.
Exactly, I agree.
He said we made a huge mistake when we passed the Civil Rights Act in the 1960s. This is Charlie Crist saying it. These are his words. I'm quoting him.
Right.
So he was saying to us and to his listening audience or constituency that the mistake was made to have black people humanity upheld in this country.
Right.
That, you know, you were talking about the scriptures. The people that used to go to church, after church would have lynchings.
Absolutely.
They would bring their whole families. They would invite surrounding people from around the surrounding areas.
Right.
And they would have these elaborate lynchings where they cut the people's body parts up and distribute them all around to the different people. And, you know, so they have used the Bible, and many of the so-called evangelists, and I said so-called evangelists, have not opened their mouths against the injustice. As a matter of fact, they have helped promoted the evil that we see in the world today.
My God.
You know.
Let me say this, I tell you, I want to apologize again. I do this every single day. We are in the process of evolving, going up and get higher to do better. You may hear noise in the background. Please bear with me, I ask of you from the heart, because I don't want to disrespect any of my viewers. I want to make sure that you understand that we want to give you the best information out there. I don't think there's anybody in Pensacola can do it better than this, because we're coming straight raw. Absolutely. And I want this to continue to be the best, because that's why I accepted the platform I'll be able to talk openly about things that are happening in and around our community, and the things that we need to do as a community to get some type of change, so that we can make sure that we are, as a people, are safe, because we are targeted now. We are simply targeted. And I want to go touch this just a little bit before we go. We're talking about, now this is me, this is I. I feel this way, personal pronoun, that I do not agree with anybody who's being negative like that going on a college campus. I don't care who you are. Because you got to realize that there are some people out there, and which it did happen, because I saw in an interview last night, I was watching the news, there was a young guy who came to his table and said, I don't believe what you're doing is right. But he was really nasty with that young guy. And to say that he was doing it because, I feel like the black people don't deserve this. But I say this, and I'll say this strongly from my heart. Until we can get people to understand whatever it is that they fear about black people, we're not going to do to you what you did to us.
Absolutely.
We're not going to go back and do that to you. We deserve the same opportunities that your child deserves. Mine deserve the same thing. My prayer is that one day you won't, as Dr. King would say, you won't look at his kids, you won't look at me and say, because of my pigmentation, I'm gonna do this over here because she's lesser of. I have got the same equal right as anybody with a different skin color. Do you understand what I'm saying? To this point, to the point in my life where I'll be retiring here, I don't think I'm going to ever retire. But the fact of it is, we're going to talk more about this, because I get emotional because I see the things that are happening. And I think about my 2 children. They're grown, but I still think about, and I pray over my children every single day.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because I tell them to be careful in this world. We're going to talk more about that when we return right here on Sonshine's Corner.
My name's Kelly McLeod. I'm the owner of Bella Magazine. Bella is a source of uplifting and inspiring content for the women of Pensacola.
I think the magazine is just so thoughtfully done. There's a lot of attention to detail. The stories are really good.
You've got seriousness, you've got fun, education, fashion. It just encompasses everything.
Women are multidimensional, and so is Bella.
From the efficiency of American natural gas and the dependability of nuclear power, to the strength of Florida's sunshine and the flexibility of advanced battery storage systems, we leverage a diverse mix of energy sources to power our growing state, ensuring reliable, low-cost power for your home or business whenever you need it. FPL, working for you every single day.
At the Hearing Center, the journey to better hearing is unique. A medical model and a personalized, high-quality patient experience is the perfect combination for your hearing health care. Our audiologists take the time to listen and help you understand, while using research-backed practices for the delivery of hearing aids. Choose a professional, not a product, for the best hearing possible. The Hearing Center, a better experience because it's your experience.
Well, I think it's all about local, and I'm a big believer in local. So I think anytime you can carry a message out locally, it's important. And I think it's anytime the person that delivers the service can also deliver the message, which is unusual. You have the people that actually deliver the project doing the talking, and I think that's a huge difference, and really makes a huge value difference for the consumer. So I'm really just so grateful that we have this local opportunity with Blab TV. My name is Quint Studer, and I am Blab TV.
No. Whoop. He did it again. He didn't count me in, man. I'm like, did you see that? Caught me off guard again. Okay, people, you're getting this candy shot now, okay? I'm just like talking off the camera, and I just like, boom, bring me back. But you know what that also says to me? Oh, woo-saw. Woo-saw. You feeling me?
I got you.
You got me. And it is so unbelievable. But we're talking about a conversation that needs to be had and more of it. And I want to encourage our pastors to get involved.
Absolutely.
To talk to your people in your church. Yeah. What do you think? Come on, I see you nodding. Let me hear it. Talk to me.
No, I agree, but also I think we put too much on our pastors from the civil rights movement. Although a lot of the leaders traditionally have been pastors, Jesus preached in the streets, so the people that the moms we need are not going to church every Sunday, Bible study every Wednesday.
Okay. You said the mom we need, those are the younger generation?
The generation, and not just younger, it's a lot of older generation that just wasn't raised in the church to know to go every Sunday for their uplift.
Exactly.
And it's not instilled in the lower generations, but also in that, remembering, I think for me, it's an aspect of redefining equality to equity. That after the goal of the civil rights movement was never to integrate. The goal of the civil rights movement was separate but equal, was separate but equal, then have equal for the separate.
Equity.
Exactly.
Right. So the equity in that. So if Brown versus the Board of Education is not being adhered to, there's still schools under desegregation orders to this day. If all of DEI and affirmative action is being rolled back to be racially neutral language, then Plessy v. Ferguson, if Brown v. Board of Education was never adhered to and complied with, Plessy v. Ferguson is still being affected. So we still have separate with unequal, that we need the equity of that.
Absolutely.
And from that, we build economic equality so that way we can have the resources our community needs.
Absolutely. I got a text message here. It says, listen, I hear people weeping like we've lost a savior. Let's talk the truth. Charlie Kirk was no friend to our people. His tongue was a weapon, sharpened to cut down the progress of dignity. The same way poison spreads through water, his words infected minds and gave courage to hate. And he goes on to say, when the devil whispers, some folks act. And after the voice was silenced by people who looked like him, HBCUs were threatened. That's powerful. After his voice was silenced by people that looked like him, the HBCUs was threatened.
Absolutely.
I mean, he wrote this is a long message. I guess they've been listed, but then they goes on to say, don't let grief blind you. Don't let sentiments bury the truth. History teaches us if a man uses his platform to fuel or to fire opposition, then he stands on the wrong side of liberation. When it comes to Charlie Kirk, Malcolm X said, in case of chickens coming home to roost, and there that hate he sent out came back to the front door.
Came back to the front door. Yes.
What, and I'll say this again, and I hear the process that we've got to go through, but with things as it is, such a thing as that's going on today, and I say this from the depths of my heart, we as a community got to do something. I think we should also, now Jerry, I think you said this too, that we got to be strong enough to stand together to talk to the president, to hold him accountable for what he's doing. Because I'll tell you something else that he did that was very disrespectful. Even with January 6th, with what happened there with the riot, right?
Insurrection.
But then down, who did he let out of jail first?
The insurrection.
The people that murdered
police
officers.
He pardoned everyone.
He pardoned
everyone.
every single one. So that's what I'm saying. These things that we are aware of. So we as a community, there's power in your vote too.
Absolutely.
There is power in your vote. This is what I want to say to everybody, because I see that this is really something that not just the people of color, everybody, get your heart right. And learn to go out and exercise the right, because there was something a gentleman said on my show one day, a lady said it once, she said that we have the power to hire and fire. So let's use that. If they're not doing what they say they're going to do, vote them out.
Yeah, absolutely.
The thing about it, I was looking at, and you were right about the vote, how powerful it is. I was looking at some of the farmers from Nebraska and other places around the country. They didn't realize that USDA, the aid that that the government bought and sent around the world to feed hungry people. First, it was like a peace offering for this nation. It kept some quality of respect for us. Now, those same people turn around. We were trying to tell them, other black people, black farmers around the country were trying to tell them that Trump was going to be a danger to their progress on their farms and all of that. But they didn't adhere to any of that. Now they're on social media and other platforms crying because they didn't listen. They didn't listen to us, because we have been through all this stuff before. We know how to take nothing and make something out of it, because this is how we came about with all the inventions and the progress that America has now, that this country was built on our backs, but the inventions that helped propel America into the power that it is now came from us.
Exactly.
It came from us. Exactly. Let's not make no mistakes and hold no tongues about where it came from.
I agree.
The only thing America invented that was powerful was the patent. So they could use the patent to
take it away from us.
On top of that, because we was considered property at the time, everything we invented went to the so-called master at that time. So we were a people forced into forced labor We were not slaves when we came here. We was intelligent, intellectual people.
Always have been and always will be.
Always will be. We will still stand no matter what. But the thing about it, history need to be put on trial now. Put it in the courts. Let's put history on trial.
I hear you.
And we'll see who come out on top in this trial, who come out innocent and guilty about what has taken place here in America. Because the things that are taking place now is being, all of the progress that we've made from the 50s, the 60s, well, going back further than that, to the early 1800s. Those progressive programs that we have helped to bring to fruition are now being overturned.
Exactly.
And what the people fail to realize, what Martin Luther King said, said whatever directly affect me will indirectly affect you. And so he said, because we are all tied in a single garment of destiny.
Absolutely.
Exactly. That's so true, Jerry. It's so true. It's so true. We got another text message that says, this person says, live by the sword, die by the sword. God is our source of, not Trump. Remember, there are antichrists among us. Be prepared and protect. They wouldn't tell me who they were. I just read them all. But I just let them know we got that they're watching. You know, we're down to the last 3 minutes.
Really?
It's gone. Come on.
It's gone fast.
Wait a minute. He said 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
Oh my God. 10 seconds. We got to go. Listen, ladies and gentlemen. Woo-saw. I've got to go, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great weekend. Know that I love you with a perfect kind of love. Until Monday morning, we're going to have more of this. Woo-saw. God is in control. Until then, have a great weekend, my friends. And I thank you guys for coming in. We're going to have this, I repeat, we're going to do this again. Okay, please, so we can continue this conversation. I love you, I thank you, and we're going to do this thing all together. Have a great weekend, my friends. We'll see you next. Sunshine's Corner, being brought to you by Quint and Richie Studer.